All right, so we're going to be recording just because we have a few people that'll be hopping on late or that really wanted to make it but couldn't. So welcome to the Zoom call. The reason I am calling this Monday Zoom call Dauntless is because a personal goal as well as a goal for my team and anyone really that I'm surrounding myself with, I really am challenging this this mindset for the rest of 2022. So dauntless means incapable of being intimidated or subdued. And that's something that I have worked on for a long time, and I'm really committed to it this year. So I challenge everybody on this Zoom call to set the same goal for themselves. But today we have one of the most bold real estate agents that I personally know. And some of you recognize him from TikTok. He's got 311,000 followers on TikTok and his other social media platforms. He does amazing parody, country music, usually real estate songs. So look those up afterwards. They're absolutely amazing. But not only that, though, he's an icon agent at EXP. So high production, you know, he knows all the loopholes. And so I want to give him a minute to introduce himself and what he did before real estate. But Sean, go ahead and everyone mute your mics. And Sean, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. So thanks for having me. Hopefully we all work for EXP, or I know just Mr. Skirkus is a real guy. But thanks for having me. How would you like me to begin?
Yeah. So actually, I find your career before becoming a realtor very interesting and applicable to just how your mind works with finding ways around kind of where everyone else naturally goes. So sure. Do you want to share what you did before real estate?
So before I became a realtor, I recruited loan officers for about 6.5 years immediately before. And before that, I was a loan officer myself for about a decade. I was a loan officer and then I ran a branch at several places. So loan officer, recruited loan officers, and here we are. And I'm not sure if you know the story, but summer of 2018, I walked into the office. I was at Loan Depot recruiting, and I got a phone call and got fired. And you know, no shade, no hard feelings. I'd always told my wife, if something ever happens to recruiting, I am going to get my real estate license. So anyways, my boss called, told me to hit the road. I wished him well and, you know, packed a box and I was out. And I ordered the class that day when I got home. So I called my wife. She said, oh, Lord Jesus, you got fired. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. And ordered the test. I banged through it. The class. It took me about 28 days. It was over the summer, so I hung out with my daughter a lot, rode bikes, this type of thing, and then passed the test, and here we are. So there was my career briefly before I became a realtor.
That's really awesome. It's really inspiring that you didn't let that get you down. You're just like, okay, no, I got plan B. We're locked and loaded. Like, here we go.
Let's go.
So that's awesome. So now when was it that you got your real estate license?
October, well, my first day at EXP was October 1st, but I technically passed on 9/11, 2018. And October 1st was my first day as an agent.
Yeah. So yeah, just, 3.5 years, right? Or so.
Give or take.
Yeah. So you've pretty much killed it. But first, before we dive into kind of something I saw you post on Real Estate Mastermind recently about FHA loans.
Yeah.
I have a serious question.
Sure.
What is the best text you ever got from a husband about your cowboy hat?
Oh. You must have saw that on Real Estate Mastermind. He, and God bless him. He sent me a text and he said, Sean, we had showings literally in about an hour and a half before he texted me. And he said, Sean, hey man, he said, hey brother, if you don't mind, could you not wear your cowboy hat today to showings? And I said, may I inquire as to why? And he said, well, to be honest, my wife has mentioned several times how much she likes your cowboy look. And I just said, oh my. I said, okay. And I said, hey man, no worries. I'll lose the hat. I'll just wear, bear stuff. So I did, and he was like, you know what, thanks, man, because this is a hard text to write. So when I got there, and I get out the car, hey guys, good to see you. And the first thing she's like, where's the cowboy? Where's your hat? Da, 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 da. So, and me and the gentleman, we kind of gave each other the, I got you look, bro, like that. And then we did our thing, but that was one of them. That was probably the most interesting one. And he just gave me a hug, and he's like, hey man, I appreciate you, bro. And God bless him. But it was, I feel for him,
Yeah.
It's not like I'm LL Cool J running around here. It just, I'm telling you what it is, because I'm in Chicago. No one else dresses like this. That's the only thing. I'm the only guy, especially realtor, that wears cowboy stuff in the middle of Chicago. Yep. So I think it works for me, and the branding is strong, and I'll take it.
Yep, exactly. That's awesome. That made me laugh. I just had to have you share that story.
Good story.
You got your clients back, so that's awesome.
I did. We closed, and they're very happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So recently, within the last week or so, I saw you share on Mastermind, which if everyone's on here, if you're not a member of Real Estate Mastermind, join it for sure. There's a lot of, you can't take it all as fact, right? But you're going to learn a lot. You're going to hear strategies, always check if it's obvious, state compliant, like all of that, of course, but I see Joe in there all the time. It's awesome. Join it. But anyways, so Sean, you posted something about FHA loans and a way that they can come in with a appraisal gap. Do you mind sharing that on the Zoom?
So if you are unfamiliar with, everybody knows FHA, but if you're familiar with FHA's rehab loan, it's called a 203K. Most people have heard of it. And it just allows you to rehab the property, in some cases from the ground up. And you can do as little or as much as the buyer qualifies for in renovations or repairs before you walk in the door. Pretty straightforward. One part of that program is, which most obviously from the post, which the vast majority of agents don't know about, and most loan officers don't or didn't know about, is that program allows for the buyer to borrow up to 10% over the after repaired value. So long and short, let's say you got a house let's say it's beat to all hell. It's worth 200 grand. And all fixed up, let's say it's worth 300 grand. And let's say it takes $50,000 to make that happen. So purchase price 200, you need 50 grand in repairs. It'll be worth 300 when it's all said and done, okay? Assuming your buyer qualifies for that amount, FHA will actually let you borrow up to 330. It's 10% over the after repaired value. You can use that money. Most of the time, you're going to use it for renovations, kitchen, granite, countertops, floors, garage, whatever the heck you want to do within the bounds of the program. But that program also allows that overage to be used toward anything in the transaction, including extra money to the seller. So again, the only reason I knew about the darn thing because I was a loan officer, and then when I became a realtor, I have saved. I apologize. I have won 2 deals using this strategy. Okay, so you can, if you're an agent and you got and you have an FHA client, and you're getting beat up with the appraisal gaps from conventional and all these people, you can still write your appraisal gaps in there. The key to this thing, Jordan Hill, is that you, 1, have to make sure your buyer qualifies for the extra amount. That's the first thing. 2, you have to make sure that they qualify for the darn program. And one of the most important things here is that the lender you choose to work with, and I'm not a fan of endorsing in particular lenders, so I don't do that, but whomever the lender is that you work with must know the ins and outs of this gosh darn program. Because first of all, the listing agent isn't going to believe you. They're not going to be able to grasp it. They've never heard of it. So you're going to have to explain it up front. And then the listing agents, when they get your offer, the first thing they do is call the darn loan officer. If the loan officers mumble, fumble, they're going to blow it. But I've done this with 2 deals. They have both closed. and we won. We had an appraisal gap. One was like 10, one was like 15 grand. Okay. And we won both offers, but not after some very detailed explaining to the listing agent what the hell I was doing, forgive my French. So it is a way that I'm not gonna say it evens the playing field, because a conventional with a $10,000 gap, FHA 10,000, you know how that goes. But if your buyer can qualify for that higher amount and you know how that program works, it's amazing. And the best part about it is the home doesn't need to be repaired. You can do this on a pristine condition, ready to move in joint, right? You just have to, and this is lender by lender, some lenders have a minimum amount of upgrades or repairs you have to do. Loan Depot, who I use, is 5,000, okay? So let's say you got a house completely ready to go and it doesn't need anything. Just get new appliances or paint the damn garage, whatever. New appliances work because you don't need a contractor to come in and do that. You could just order them from Lowe's. Lowe's will come in, install them, and that's it. So if you get some high efficiency washer, dryer, kitchen appliances, there's your 5 grand. Then you can pile, your $10,000, $12,000 appraisal gap on top. Hopefully you win your offer and everybody's happy. I know that was a lot. I hope I didn't word throw up on you. I'm just trying to explain the intricacies of the program.
Yeah. Well, and your post on Mastermind was really, hey, Chelsea, was really in detail. So, later you guys, I can share out his post because he actually details all this out. But yeah, and I actually have so far, it was just, a week ago, I've so far reached out to one lender to ask about this. And he was kind of like you're saying, he was like, oh, well, I don't know, he'd never heard of it. And it was this whole thing. I'm like, well, obviously, that's not the lender you want to partner with you. I was giving him the chance to kind of do his due diligence. And if he figured it out and came back to me, cool. But he didn't. He said, oh, I would refer you to someone else. So it's definitely going to take homework to find a lender that is familiar with this or is willing to give 110% on it. And give that listing agent a call or a video to their cell phone or whatever it is to assure them of this.
Loan Depot and Guaranteed Rate. Now, I want to endorse a specific loan officer. And if you send me a message saying, Sean, who you use, that's one thing.
Okay.
But Loan Depot and Guaranteed Rate are two of the best 203K lenders in the country, partly because they have a 203K department. So even if your favorite loan officer happens to be Loan Depot or Guaranteed Rate originator, it's probably not that loan officer that will do it. They dish it off to their 203K department or their renovation department, which is right up your alley as a realtor, because they know what the blank they're doing, okay? So just whomever's on this call, keep that in mind. The renovation department at those two lenders are phenomenal. And they can kind of hold your hand, or more to the point, your client's hand through this glorious process.
Awesome. That's so great. So then, okay, great. So I've taken notes for sure. Does anybody on this call, Chelsea, I did record this, so I'll show you, the first portion of this call for you later, because something really, really cool is just shared. But does anybody have any questions that pertain to this that maybe Sean would be able to help you with?
Joe Skirkus has one. It's you know what, if you don't do a lot of FHA, or if you've never done this program, it may be a little intimidating, but it's really not. It's just a way to help you win. And even if you're not doing it for the gap, utilize this program. The market is still tough out here, even with rising rates, right? And so maybe your buyer wants to buy a house that's a little beat up, and they don't have $1 million to put down. This 203K is I mean, it's only 3.5% down of the total project.
Yep.
If most people don't know. And I'll give you another tip, because I know there's only, several of us on the call. Are you familiar with HUD Home Store Homes?
Did you make a TikTok about it?
I did.
Yeah, I went to that website and played around for a little bit. Yeah, share it with the group.
So if you also have let's say you have an FHA client or any client who just doesn't have a lot of money, if money is a barrier, right? They got the credit score, they got the job, debt ratio is fine. They don't have a lot of cash. Check out HUDHomestore.com. Just like it sounds, HUD homestore.com. Anyways, all of the properties on that website are FHA foreclosures. But if you buy it directly from HUD, HUD waives the 3.5% down payment. It's only $100 down. So any home on that site is only $100 down payment, okay? And all of those homes generally, except for condos, are eligible for 203K. Best part about that is if you do the renovation on those homes, the down payment is still only $100. So there's two good ways that you guys and gals may be able to, yes, correct, howdomestore.com, Jordan Hill, that you guys may be able to get yourself some additional business, or at least you don't have to, tell your clients to jump in the river if they don't have too much cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go, Jordan Hill.
I love it. I love it. So does anybody have any questions in general for him while he's on the call? Don't forget, like, he's an icon agent, over 300,000 TikTok followers. Sean, I know you get referrals, send out business, bring agents to XP through that. So that's amazing.
I don't get much from Oregon, but I'm going to double check. You never know.
Now you will, you guys. This is our Chicago guy now.
What part of Oregon are you guys in, by the way?
So Salem and Portland. Mm-hmm.
Salem and Portland.
Yep. Yeah. So but it's surrounding, so we have team members kind of in the surrounding area, but yeah.
Isn't Nike out there?
Is it what?
Nike?
Yeah.
What part, how far are you from them?
Like less than an hour. It's in Portland.
It's in Portland, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Yep.
So how long did it take you to become an icon? So I've been an agent 3.5. So I did not do it my first year. I did not do it my second year. I made it 48 hours before my third year ended, meaning I had 48 hours left. And I had like 2 deals out there. One died last minute. And I seriously made it 2 days before my reset date. So 3 full years. So nothing the first year, nothing the second year. I mean, not nothing, but just not icon status. And then I made it in year 3. So I was happy. And then that extra stock is good. The only thing I have to do left now is go to shareholders. And so, I don't know if you guys know how that works, but they dish it out in little pieces. And then shareholders is the last thing. And once you do that, I'll get my last portion of the stock. What's your advice for a person brand new to real estate, successful, become icon eventually? Absolutely crush, hammer, smash, destroy your sphere with social media content. And I mean, it should get to the point where your friends and family members unfollow you. There's like, Christ almighty, I'm sick of it. I can't take it anymore. I know that sounds crazy to say, but that's what I did. My first 30 days, I did, or 60 days, I cold called, expired FISBOs. I ain't saying that don't work. It just wasn't my thing. And so finally I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go balls to the wall, forgive my French, on social media. And I just started video after picture after post after video after picture after post after video after picture after post. And, it's hard to do it every day. But what I found over time is I just post more than everybody else in general, other agents. So no one's using Sean because I'm a better realtor than you. Half you guys probably been realtors longer than me, right? It's you use Sean because you see me. You simply see me more than everybody else. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9. So my advice to you is a couple of things. One, I think everybody should do this. You get yourself a hashtag, get yourself a slogan. Mine is stop making your landlord rich. All my social media posts, you'll see the hashtag SMYLLR. Get yourself a slogan and a hashtag, and you use that darn hashtag with every darn thing you post every gosh darn time. Okay? It's 2 L's, by the way, but that's close. Yeah. So you do that all the time, and that starts branding. People will start to say, what the hell? Inbox me. Hey, brother, what the hell is SMYLLR? That's how you know it's working. That's the first thing I suggest. And second of all, be out there more than everybody else. Doesn't matter what you're posting. It could be about new windows, doors, a client. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Just do it more than everybody else. And then, and I think, and we can't get too far into it. I know we're limited on time, but so I post, I make one video, post it on TikTok. I'll share it to Facebook, business page, personal page, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat if you had it. One video gets shared 6, 7 times. And then 2 or 3 days later, do it again. 2 or 3 days later, do it again. Eventually, people start to recognize you. And now I can go out of state and I'll see a realtor. Hey, you're a cowboy realtor from TikTok. That's branding, right? And I'll tell you, Jordan Hill, and whomever that answered that question, like Veronica, like everybody else, real estate is show business. It really is. You know, again, I've been a realtor 3.5 years. You know, I never tell people I'm the best realtor. Listen to me, I got the most advice. It's ridiculous. But I know show business, and I know this is all, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease, right? So if you're new and you don't know anybody, you make yourself the local celebrity, if that's your thing, right? I ain't saying put on a cowboy hat and sing and dance, but you have to be in these local Facebook groups, these mom groups. I'm telling you, my wife belongs to this group it calls Plainfield Moms. I can't get in there. Every 10 minutes there's someone in there, hey, I need a realtor. I'm dying to get in that damn group. I'm not in it. There's moms of Chicagoland. There's, you know, all these groups. If I, you know, unless you're a guy to get in the dead zone, but all these local groups, get your butt in there. Post your listings, post advice, you know, and people will eventually seek you out. If I showed you my inbox, you would fall off of your chair. I'm about 3 weeks behind responding to social media inquiries. I can't keep up, right? And which is a good problem to have. Now, some of them are horrible, you know, but the whole point is I would like to get to a point where, you know, I don't have to buy leads, or I don't buy them now, but I want people to come to me and then I dish. It's out of state, I'll just dish it. Jordan, here you go. I'll take my 25%. I don't care, right? I'll go to my listings, I dish my buyers, and God willing, Jesus cares, we can make icon again. So that's what I think you need to do. Hammer your sphere with social media. Do it more than everybody else. Don't worry about how you look. I don't care if you're black, white, skinny, tall, fat, skinny, Jew, Gentile. Doesn't matter. Post, post, post. People can dig it. And eventually your audience will find you. And if you overtake me on TikTok, I'll throw darts at you and I'll curse. And you know, I'll be upset, but we can all make a couple bucks. And you're very welcome, Veronica.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, boom, like take that and run with it, you know, for sure. All of us can sometimes be nervous that we're bombarding, you know, our aunt or our whoever's on our Facebook. But I love that. I wrote this down. You don't use me because I'm a better realtor than them. You use me because you see me. And so that's something really, really, that's huge. So
yeah, and I'll tell you this, Jordan, last thing I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Are you a Silence of the Lambs fan?
I am. Anyone else? Drop it in the chat.
Who else knows that movie?
I've watched it with Vicky before, actually, so I know she is.
So one thing that Hannibal Lecter said, and I modeled this, is how do we first begin to covet? Do you know the answer to that question? Oh yes, put the lotion in the basket. We first begin to covet because we covet what we see every day. Americans in general, people, you want what you see every day, right? So all day, every day, what do? I give you the same thing. Stop making your landlord rich. Why are you renting? Your landlord is rich. Look at my client. They just closed. Look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. It's the same thing until eventually someone's in my inbox. You know what, brother? Man, you're right. I'm tired of renting. My rent is $1,600 and we want to stop making our landlord rich too. It's all visual and show business. So if you take nothing away from Sean, which is whatever you are doing on social media, do 6 times more. And eventually it works and people will start calling you.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You know, I'll let you go. I'm sure you have a busy schedule. We'll be on here another 15 minutes. So it's totally up to you, but can everybody just say thank you to Sean? You can unmute your mics, you know, if there's anything you want to say to him before he heads out, but Yeah. Thank you so much, Sean, for joining us. And yeah, we're going to be watching you, cheering you on.
Thank you very, very much. You guys have fun. God bless you.
All right. You too.
Jordan, thanks for having me. You look amazing, by the way. Must be nice to never age. I love it. Oh, and Mike, I'm sorry. Don't come out here trying to beat me up. Poor cowboy from Bolingbrook.
He's gonna be messaging you like, you better not wear that
Hey,
hat anymore.
hey, leave my wife alone. All right, I'm out of here. You guys are the best.
Thanks, Sean. All right, cool. So Opie started following him on TikTok. All right. So like I said, Chelsea and Belinda, I recorded the first, portion of this Zoom where he kind of shared the meat of what I wanted him to bring today. Joe, like, what did you think? You're kind of one of the more experienced agents on this call. You might be driving kids around, so no need to talk if you can't.
Nope, I'm back.
All right.
No, I've known Sean for years. I mean, I was EXP agent number 4,000. So I remember when he first joined, and I kind of watched his growth and stuff. I mean, very impressive individual. He knows stuff. And I mean, like you said, he has that branding and stuff, which is wonderful. But the fact that he has such extensive knowledge of the lending side, he can go above and beyond what most of us know. And that, again, that's just another thing that separates him. And the fact that, like, there's very few people you will meet in this line of work that I've come across that are willing to share for free to the level that he does. So, I mean, anytime I get a chance to hear him speak on any topic, it's something you definitely have to sit in on.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. You're not lying. I know. Yeah. You know him. He knew who you were right away when I said, oh, Joe Skirk is trying to log in here. Because I was having technical difficulties at the beginning. He's like, oh, I know him. So yeah. So I'm so glad you could make it. What did you guys think of that? Give me some feedback in the chat. I'm trying to kind of gauge where we want. Oh, there's your face. Where we want.
Now I can't. None of them back from the bus stop.
You have a face. Gauge where we want these calls to go. Like, I'm all about finding something new to learn about. That's why when I saw his mastermind post, I was like, I messaged him like, hey, can you come share this for my very first Zoom call as a non-EXP staff anymore? So I was very, very excited that he did say yes. And then Mike, are you there?
No.
I thought maybe, and our team members have heard this before, but I would like to get, Chelsea and Joe are two experienced agents that they're not on our team. So, they maybe haven't heard this before, but definitely the concept. I know you guys, are aware of the concept. But Mike, do you want to share kind of about the buckets of leads idea that you utilize and that you're successful with?
Yeah, I mean, not much to it. So it's kind of how I prioritize or spend my time. You have to be more intentional in some of your buckets than others. Like for me, I'm, as most people know, I'm a big pickleball guy. So I play way too much pickleball, but I also network with clients. So that's kind of one of my big buckets of leads, is just being out there on the court, chatting with people. And I don't even really talk about real estate. I wear my Hilltop Property Group hat, and I wear my real estate shirts, all my branded stuff, and I don't have to have that conversation. And then, I've recently gotten just 3 clients from pickleball just because they see the stuff that I do. They see the passion I have for what I do, and they reach out to me. But yeah, so I kind of do something similar to that, and in 5 different aspects of my life. And yeah, so and that can be coaching your kids' sports. That can be a bucket of leads for you. Getting in a bunch of different groups like Sean was talking about. Just joining every Facebook group you can think of, just contributing. And just letting people know what you do, who you are. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah. Awesome. So pretty much like finding like a place to find leads. And sometimes those places are not, it doesn't feel like work. like it's something you're passionate about and you
It
love.
should, yeah, it shouldn't be like you should be living your life, having a good time. Like, don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do for work, right? Like, you can contribute, you can get business from anything that you do. You just need to be more, like, intentional about it. But
Yeah.
but make it fun. Like, it doesn't have to suck. That's why I do this, because it doesn't suck.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Something simple for you and for other people that I've had success with also is, if you have kids, coach their youth team. But every time, like when I coach the youth team, I'm constantly sending email reminders. Hey, practice today. If we only practice like once a week or something like that, game on Saturday, what time it is. But every single time you send that email, make sure you have your signature line filled out with your real estate information. You will get business from it.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. Yeah. I have been using that kind of on that same idea, using my, real estate email that has my photo. So that way they remember me. And, real estate signature for things that are not real estate, but I'm like, there's someone that might use me in the future. So that's like a very, very good. Where's the last one? Like, I mean, I'll use it for like gym members, like at the gym, like, you know what I mean? Like just wherever. And kind of just like being intentional every step you take, even if it's just your normal happy life, that you're doing something that might not be lead generation traditionally. If you're intentional about it, you can drop those seeds everywhere you go. So yeah. Chelsea, how about you? Is there anything kind of along those lines that has been working for you? Actually, I would love you to share a post that you posted recently about rent and what happens to that rent in 5 years. Is that you that posted that? She might not be on. I'm gonna find it. So she made a really good post the other day. Hopefully it was her. I could have swore. It was something like.
Yes, it is her. She just commented in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Yep. So she posted 15, if you're spending $1,500 a month on rent, in 5 years, that would have been $90,000 that you would have paid towards your home. So something like that, it breaks it down into what, a potential client can easily understand, and kind of blows their mind. That kind of thing is going to make them stop and really look at that post. So, Chelsea, have you gotten any like feedback on that post yet at all? It's okay if I know you can't talk, so no worries, but something like that, that's going to really, really make people stop. But yeah, I thought that was excellent. Like 1,500, a lot of people are paying 1,500 or more. Okay, here we go. She says she's gotten 3 messages. A lot of people are shocked and inquiring. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. So posting little things like that are just like in super simple terms. Another thing, this is not super related, but it's just something that I learned at EXPCon from Pete Middleton. Does anybody know who Pete Middleton is? I'm sure Joe does. You don't? Okay, so he's luxury agent in San Diego. His like median price point's like 4 million. So he's a luxury agent, and we always want to model ourselves after those that we kind of want to be like, if we're always surrounding ourselves with those that are just like us, like that's where we're going to stay. Right. So there's a reason why I reached out to Sean to come on here. There's a reason I'll be having others that are, who I want to be like. Yeah, Mike. Well, Mike, yeah, you're getting there actually with the last couple of deals you've had, but anyways, so Pete Middleton also suggested, like, you'll notice if you follow him on social media, he posted like a $4 million mansion, but he broke it down to the monthly payment, and he it's very compliant. It talks about like if it's similar to like a car, like on like a car commercial, to where it says you're only paying $500 a month subject to whatever approval. So he made his totally state compliant, and they're in California, and someone can actually see, obviously I can't afford 20 grand a month for a mansion, but someone can see that it's in very simple, broken down bottom of the barrel terms. And so that's a way that Chelsea already has gotten 3 messages. So if we just break down numbers like that we can see those numbers, we know these numbers. So break it down for, a potential client, you can really blow their minds and we'll get some messages. So anyway, so does anybody have any questions before we wrap this up today? Any questions or something you'd like to see on this call that's really helpful for me? I do have Joe coming up in the future. He's going to be teaching us about YouTube and some other things. So, we're really excited about that. He actually has a YouTube channel. Joe, can you drop either if it's easy, just say it or put it in the chat? No YouTube right now?
We'll talk. I'll explain why, but it's horrible to share my channel because you are not my avatar.
Oh, I know this. You're right. I know this.
Yeah.
Okay. We would break up his algorithm.
If you find it, you find it, but you are not my ideal audience. So by you finding it, you actually hurt me.
Yeah. So thank you for that reminding me. So he has a really awesome YouTube channel, but he wants it to only he's targeting it a certain way. So we'll get him on here and he can share like his best practices for that. So that's going to be really good. I will, keep you posted on that. We have a few other people lined up too. Sometimes it'll be just us where we can all just, converse openly. So we're just going to see what works. I just really, really want to bring something of value to everybody on this call at any point. But one thing I'll share before closing is I found something that I really liked. It has to do with, kind of the theme of being bold. So it's a quote by Oren Harari, and it says, trying to get everyone to like you is a sign of mediocrity. And so if that's all we're concerned about, just trying to get people to like us, and this is to myself too, because it's my own personal challenge this year, it's a sign of being mediocre. Like, we will never progress just only focusing on that. So just kind of a challenge. And, if you can yourself, you can also put it in the chat if you feel like sharing, being brave and sharing. But if you have your own challenge for yourself, even just this next week while we wait for the next Zoom call, like a challenge on how you're going to be bold, go outside of your comfort zone in a way that will really level up your business. I think we all kind of know what we need to do, but it's scary to actually do it. YouTube is one of my challenges to myself. That's why I'm excited to get Joe back on here to share some wisdom. But if we can all just be mindful of that, and feel free to send me a chat or a text with anything that you'd like to learn about on here, and I'll get a pro on here. So anyway, so thank you everybody for joining. It is recorded and I'll post it. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.
Ah.